Alright guys, welcome back to the art channel. We're going to be teaching you guys how to become an art pro in 6 minutes or less. So first what I gotta say is I want to plug the little course on the bottom. It gets right there. We have the little course right there that's going to teach you how to become an art pro artist in just a matter of 6 minutes or less. So as you can see, we have the perfect drawing right here, and then you're going to see how it is thanks to open person. So this thing is so amazing that you can't even compare this to many other things. I could compare myself to Picasso because many things in here are just leading up to many other things that you really don't even know about because you don't really know how to draw. Because as you can see right here, I have the perfect technique right there. So first we gotta make sure that we take this right there, and then we gotta make sure that we just scrape it all up because we don't even know what it's going to be because we already know that we messed up. So then what you gotta do after that is then you gotta start right over. So when you start right over, you gotta make sure that you draw the line right there, and you just start scribbling a little bit more, and then you start scribbling a little bit more again, and then you finally get something. And then once you finally get it over there, then you gotta make sure that you do over this part, and then after you get that part, then you gotta make sure that you also pay attention to these little lines on the structure right there because you don't even want to mess it up right there. So you gotta make sure that you also draw this little line right there, and then draw a little scribbling line right there, and then you do a little line right there, and then you get a little line right there, and then after you get a little line right there, then you finally fix every single thing, and then you start scribbling line. So what you gotta make sure whenever you're drawing is that you gotta make sure to go over and put in more detail. You don't want to make any more details. You don't want to make overlaps. You don't even want to make overadjustments. So you want to make sure that you finally get the thing right. So whenever you get it right, so that way that you can actually draw this thing. So whenever you get that right there, then you gotta make sure that you get this right there. So honestly, whenever I learn right here, I learned this in a $100 course that's gonna be linked in the description down below. So you gotta make sure that you pay for that one because you want to be able to learn the secret technique right there. So tell me to download this app right here, and then what you gotta do is that you gotta link your card into it. And you gotta set it for auto pay for every single day, so that way that you can put in a deposit of $99 every single month, and then every single month is just gonna be deposited right there. Sometimes you may see charges of your card be actually going down because you might actually notice that it's not only taken out every month, it's also taking out some surprise charges that happen almost every other day. So you gotta look out for that because that's honestly a little touch right there that I honestly found pretty interesting and actually pretty cool because I don't see many other labels and companies out there actually taking away money from everybody. It's like they're actually caring for us. So then once you get all that done, then you can actually deposit every single thing else into that little part right there, and then you can actually become a pro artist. So what you gotta make sure that you do this before you mess up anything else is that you gotta make sure that you also grab the little line right there, and you actually make sure that you also draw it a little bit more. Then add some little curves over into it because you gotta understand that every single thing that you're doing right now is just gonna be reflected on your art. So if you don't know how to draw it, then you're gonna never know how to draw. So what you gotta do is you gotta make sure that you follow every single thing that's happening in the little steps so that way that you can actually be good and make good at this. Because if you don't become good at this, then you're gonna mess up in the future, and then you're never gonna have anybody else to blame but just yourself because you never know how you're gonna do this. So after you add that, then you gotta make sure that you also draw the little lines right there so that way that you can actually understand what you're actually doing because you don't understand anything. So what you gotta make sure is that you actually have outline, that you actually have plan for this. But me right here, I just freehanded it because I'm just that good, so I don't even have to draw a little outline right there. So you gotta make sure that you just draw the little eye right there. Make sure that the little eye is also figured right there, and then you're gonna add the little details right there. You gotta make sure that you also scalp it in right there because you don't actually want to mess up right there. Because most of the time we always tend to mess up right there because we actually don't think that we actually know what we're doing, but when in reality we actually know what we're doing. So then we gotta add that little line right there. So make sure that you actually know what you're doing so that way that you don't mess up too often because you gotta actually make sure that this is gonna be a good person because you never know whenever you're gonna need to draw with the same in order to save your life, because if you don't know how to save your life, then you're never gonna know anything. So once you also mess up right there, then you gotta also make sure that you also know what you're doing right there so that way that you can actually correct that part right there, so that way that you can also fix a little line right there, then you can also add more there right there. So whenever you start extending more, then you gotta understand that you also gotta draw a little funny parts right there. So you can make sure that you also enjoy a little bit more than that because you don't even want to mess up on there, because if you mess up right there, then you're just gonna end up having to redo the whole entire thing, and you don't really want to do the whole entire thing because this is your work art, it's your baby. So if you mess up on this, then you just basically killing your baby right there, and you don't want to kill a baby, do you, huh? Unless you want to really kill babies, huh? Are you a cruel criminal like that, huh? Do you really think that you're bad, or are you think you're tough because you kill a baby? No, you're not. So that makes it that you better not mess up right there, because if you mess up right there, then you basically end up your whole entire career, and then you also have people out there with picture works out there that's really trying to end your life. So what you gotta make sure is that you also make sure that you draw this little part right there so that way you can correct it. So in order to prevent any more faculties and any more accidents right there, so you gotta make sure that you actually know what you're doing. So after you finish that part right there, then you gotta still make sure that you add some more details to it, because you don't want a simplistic drawing, because a simplistic drawing is only good whenever you're drawing a little children's book. Do you really want to be drawing a children's book? No, you don't want to be drawing a children's book. You want to actually make some realistic art. You actually want to make some cool art, like some manga art. So if you mess up right here, then you're gonna mess up and you're just gonna be stuck drawing children's stuff, and you don't want to make children's shit. Do you know? You don't want to make none. You want to be something like Junji, so you want to make something that's way greater than every single thing whenever you create this thing. So then after you add that little part right there, then you also gotta make sure that you have a little line right there so that way that they can fix every single thing that's actually going wrong with this art, because you don't want to mess up too many times. So you only want to make sure that you're making a little buttons right there so that way that you can actually finish this thing. So after you get that part right there finished, then you gotta make sure that you extend this part right there, and then you add a little shoulder over there. And whenever you get that part done, then whenever you get it done, then you can actually get every single thing done. And so whenever you actually know what you're doing, then you have to do that. You just make sure that you have to erase and correct every little part right there. You can also use a little transform tool in order to fix every single thing that you think that you messed up on, and you know, move everything around because you don't want to actually have too many mistakes right there, because you know, like I said, it's your baby. Do you really want to be accused of killing your baby? No, you don't want to be accused of killing your baby, so you better not mess up on this first one right here. But one thing that's important in inside art that you gotta understand is you will make many mistakes. So that means that you will be killing many of your babies. So unfortunately, that's gonna be the case in this case, because if you don't know how to what you're doing, then you're gonna end up killing every single baby that you ever make. And you don't want to kill every single baby because this is your baby, your art is your baby. So do you really want to be messing your baby up? No, you don't want to be messing your baby up because you actually love your baby. That's where it's really important in life. Do you really think that is not important in life? Then that was gonna be a big part on you because you don't even understand anything that's actually going on right here. And so, like I mentioned, so you gotta make sure that you add a little $99 course, and then you actually understand every single thing that's actually going on right here. So you gotta make sure that you also link your card in for auto pay, so that way that it can take out surprise charges whenever you Leslie speak. And because also that you know that the more surprise charges you get, the more extra bonus courses that you get. And sure, they may only be like a page long, just telling you just to draw a little line right there and scribble your way on. That's not important. That's not the important part right there. So you gotta make sure that you click the link in the description down below in order for you to become a good artist like me, because you don't really want to mess up on every single thing. So now as we approach the end of this thing, you actually understand every single thing I'm saying right now, because you actually understand every single thing that's going on into this art. So now as we behold this piece of art in this actually form of art that's actually amazing and that you should actually praise, because if you actually don't like this, then you're gonna end up being a cursed little being for your whole entire life, and you don't really want to be a cursed being for your whole entire life because you actually understand the importance of actually knowing how to draw. Okay, now that you finally get the part down packed, now we're just gonna move on into the transition of the final part, and this is really all you're gonna need to know. And now you're ready to become a full-fledged artist, because now you finally did every single thing that you needed to in this course, and now you will be awarded a gold medal, and yes, you found everything. So make sure that you leave a like right there, you share it to your friends that want to be inspired artists, and you also make sure that you comment about how much of an artist that you have become, because now you are a pro, and now you will lead on to make many great things in life. Peace, this is all I had to say.